Coming up on the Angus Report, starting with the best in Russia.
How auction markets manage risk, interesting research to better identify BVD in the herd, and more effectively treat infected calves.
This is the Angus Report. Hello and welcome to the Angus Report. I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top news this week. The certified Angus beef brand began production and sales in Russia this spring through licensed partner Miratorg Agribusiness Holding. Cattle are sourced mainly from the United States over the last 8 years and spurred by Russian subsidies aimed at building a modern food supply chain. The world's leading brand of fresh beef became a logical end target for the North American style plan Miratorg announced in 2009, while it began to build up dozens of cattle ranches south of Moscow in the Bryansk region. 2 50,000 head feed yards and a 400,000 head annual capacity processing plant were completed in the last 2 years, and certified Angus beef president John Sticka says the decision to expand beyond North America for the first time was not taken lightly.
From a brand standpoint, definitely not something that's evolved quickly. Certified Angus beef has been sold in Russia since 1998 through our licensed network of food distribution, primarily in the Moscow and St. Petersburg area, being their desire to become more food self-sufficient or protein production in U.S. cattle genetics, primarily purebred and commercial Angus cattle here from American Angus breeders in the Russian marketplace. So the impact of those genetics on their beef supply has been immediate. And this effort that we have with the people at Miratorg really stands to strengthen and reputation of the certified Angus beef brand that ultimately fuels that pull-through demand for American Angus genetics.
Diagnostic testing for beef cattle diseases just got easier with a new method of diagnostic testing from Kansas State University's Veterinary Diagnostic Lab. Next-generation sequencing detects viruses by surveying millions of DNA bases, simplifying the process into one test rather than running multiple tests on the same sample. We talked with Ben Hawes, clinical assistant professor at Kansas State University, during a BVD conference hosted by the National Institute for Animal Agriculture on what this means for cattle producers.
This is a newer diagnostic technique, and the reason I'm excited about it and the reason why Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab is excited about it, again, is it's an unbiased way to look for pathogens. So we don't need to run 10 different tests looking for 10 different viruses and bacteria. Now if a new sample comes into the laboratory, we can just run this sample on this test and ask the question, what viruses are present? We can take a sample, run next-gen sequencing, say, yeah, it's positive for BVD, but then we can also extract the genetic code that makes that virus up. So then we can relay it to the veterinarian and the producer and say, hey, if this is the virus that's causing disease in your herd, it's very similar to commercial vaccine X, and that's probably a good management choice. So again, that's how it comes back to why we do the diagnostics and how it can help veterinarians and producers.
The Veterinary Feed Directive final rule goes into effect January 1st, 2017. That means it's time for beef producers to begin preparing. The directive is aimed at minimizing antibiotic resistance in livestock and responding to consumer concerns. Bill Brown, Kansas Animal Health Commissioner, says that once the VFD is in place, beef producers will have to follow drug use labels to the letter under the veterinarian supervision. Establishing a veterinary client-patient relationship is the first step in preparing your operation for the VFD. Veterinarians, beef producers, and feed industry personnel will work in tandem to ensure that pharmaceutical label directions are followed.
One, get to know what the VFD is about and how it will impact them. Number two, ask questions. Go to meetings, go to their veterinarian. If they don't have a VCPR set up, set one up. Seek answers to these questions. And because there's a lot of questions and there's a lot of gray areas out there too. And hopefully this will become more clear in the next several months. But I think we've got a lot of work to do, but I think a lot of it's going to be outreach and education. So those are some of the things that they can do up front. And on our side of the fence, we've got to do the same thing. We've got to clarify our VCPR, make sure that it meets the needs for Kansas producers and veterinarians, and outreach and education is going to be our game for the next several months too.
Beef producers are encouraged to visit the FDA website for additional information about the VFD. Denmark officials are considering introducing a tax on red meat. One of the country's government groups, the Danish Council of Ethics, has recommended an initial tax on beef with intentions to apply tax on all foods depending on associated levels of climate change. In a release from the Council, the group suggests Danes are ethically obliged to change their eating habits, citing that cattle account for 10% of greenhouse gas emissions. In related news, meanwhile, a University of California Davis professor recently released a white paper that disputes misconceptions about livestock greenhouse gas emissions. In the study titled Livestock Contributions to Climate Change, Facts and Fiction, Frank Mitloehner presents findings that suggest the livestock industry is not a driving force in climate change. In fact, leading U.S. scientists and the EPA say the U.S. livestock sector contributes just 4.2% of greenhouse gas emissions, compared to 27% from the transportation sector and 31% from the energy sector. He states that the U.S. has the lowest carbon footprint per unit of livestock product produced. The American Feed Industry Association has posted the study, available at afia.org.
We go now to Jenna McCrell for all the news you need to know this week in the Angus business.
An upcoming Cattle Facts webinar will address the outlook for the second half of 2016 for the cow-calf segment and the entire beef sector. The free Trends Plus cow-calf webinar will be at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time on Wednesday, May 25th. Cattle Facts analysts will discuss a variety of topics in the one-hour session, including cattle and feedstuff market projections for the next 12 to 18 months, supply and margin expectations based on U.S. beef cow herd expansion, and an analysis of a recent cow-calf survey conducted by Cattle Facts. To participate in the webinar and access program details, register online at cattlefacts.com/meetings. The American Angus Auxiliary has announced a new fundraising initiative, the Full Circle Online Auction. The nationwide Angus consignment sale will be a web-based market that offers Angus breeders, families, and allied industry a chance to both buy and sell while making significant contributions to ensure the auxiliary's ongoing support of Angus youth. The online auction, hosted by AngusLive.com, will take place September 28th to the 29th, and the auxiliary is now seeking auction items to include in the sale. Consignments received by June 1st will receive 90 days of advertising, including an ad in the Angus Journal. Visit angusauxiliary.com/Full Circle Online Auction to learn more. Now's the time to place your order for 2017 Black Books, offered through the Beef Record Service and Angus Source. The pocket-sized books include a calendar as well as space to keep management records on your cow herd. The 2017 books are available in any quantity for $3 each and can be customized free of charge with purchases of 100 or more. Customized orders may include the operation's logo and contact information foil stamped onto the back cover, while standard orders feature the association's logo. To place your order, contact the Angus Source Department or email blackbooks@angus.org. And that's what you need to know this week in the Angus business.
Thanks, Jenna. When we return, market rewards for healthy cattle.
Then Jenna McCrell sits down with special guest Jennifer Amon of the Livestock Marketing Association to discuss payment and risk management at auction.
Visit angus.media to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.
The Angus Report is brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the makers of Safeguard Cattle Dewormer. Healthy cattle perform better. Add Safeguard, add pounds. Contact your veterinarian or animal health supplier today.
Have you discovered self-deworming cattle products? All the benefits of an effective deworming without all the labor, handling, and stress. Discover Safeguard self-deworming cattle products, ask your local animal health provider, or visit safeguardcattle.com for more information.
At 44 Farms, we believe work starts at sunup and doesn't stop until sundown. We believe in order to live off the land, you have to love and respect it. We believe that cattle aren't just raised, they're nurtured. And we believe when you do things right, with honesty and integrity, Well, things like quality and consistency happen naturally. 44 Farm Steaks, responsibly raised all-natural beef.
Horn flies cost cattle producers nearly $1 billion a year. They interrupt grazing, cause loss of blood, and impact your bottom line. By incorporating Alticid IGR into your supplement program, you can prevent the emergence of adult horn flies. Alticid IGR will significantly reduce stress on your cattle. For pennies a day, you can control the most costly parasite and increase your profitability. Contact your feed supplier to incorporate Alticid IGR today.
Looking for BRD protection that doesn't affect performance? A solution that has no impact on feed intake and little to no post-treatment side effects? That keeps cattle healthy and on feed without interrupting your day-to-day operations? Get it with the Titanium Vaccine Portfolio and experience the added support of our full value beef partnership. Titanium, a dose of confidence. Learn more at elanco.us/titanium.
We've just recently purchased the turret gate, and a lot of it's for safety reasons. We do a lot of backgrounding calves, and we ship a lot of 900-pound calves out of the feedlot. And I also have a couple of small kids, 11 and 9, coming up, and I worry about their safety a little bit too, so they can run the turret gate and not have to worry about it coming back at them. And it was more about safety than anything, and I think it's probably the best thing on the market for safety. I don't know that the last time we had a calf come through that was injured in the chute. It was very easy on the operators and just as easy on the animals.
Angus breeders, predictability is now more affordable. Introducing the I50K from Zoetis, a genomic test that allows you to dig deeper for untapped herd potential. Access genomic information on even more animals for less cost without sacrificing accuracy. I50K from Zoetis helps you make more informed decisions sooner and better match your females to that perfect sire. To learn more, visit i50k.com. Beef quality is everyone's responsibility, including yours. That's why the Checkoff-funded Beef Quality Assurance Program is key to your future. BQA, empowering people because you can make a difference. Taking responsibility because it's our job, not someone else's. Working together because product safety and wholesomeness is everyone's business. Find out more at bqa.org.
Deads, treatment costs, and poor performance. The combined effects of scours can add up to thousands of dollars per year. Protect your bottom line against these critical losses with Scour Boss. It's the only scours vaccine with the flexibility to administer at PregCheck with broad spectrum protection you won't find anywhere else. Contact your Elanco sales representative or visit scourboss.com to learn more about Scour's protection that delivers what others can't.
Indiana, this fall, the crossroads of America become the crossroads for the cattle business, where Angus breeders, commercial cow-calf producers, business professionals, and thought leaders converge during the 2016 Angus Convention. Don't miss your chance to learn, engage, and enjoy during the event that's driving innovation and fueling leadership in the beef business. Join us November 5th through the 7th at the Indianapolis Convention Center for our popular educational sessions, Angus Tours, an expansive trade show, nationally known entertainment, and more. Angus Convention in Indiana. This is Angus country. Go to angusconvention.com today.
Why do we love family? Well, maybe it's because family is always there for us, supporting us, strengthening us. At the Certified Angus Beef brand, we are family. Family ranchers, dedicated to raising beef of the very highest standards. Standards even USDA Prime doesn't have to meet, because that's what family does. Makes everything just a little bit better. The Certified Angus Beef brand. From our family ranchers to your family table.